Hello guys, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to talk about something that every researcher in animal science must understand from day one, that is, the 3 R's: replacement, reduction and refinement. The 3 R's will guide how we use animals in research responsibly, and they help protect animal welfare while still allowing important scientific progress. Now let's talk about them with examples and scenarios so that you can easily understand. First, replacement. As the name says, it means using something instead of animals, that is, replacing animals. There are two questions you need to ask to understand replacement. Question number 1. Can we avoid using animals completely? If answer is yes, it's a really good news. But if answer is no, then you should ask question number 2, that is, can we use animals that feel less pain? For example, replacing mammals by insects. Some of the examples of replacement are computer models and simulations. Instead of testing drugs in mice, what researchers can do first is they can run a simulation in computer using different model to predict the toxicity of that drug. Cell cultures. Researchers can test chemicals on cell grown in petri dish rather than testing them in mice. Organ model. Researchers can use organ model that can mimic how the regular organ reacts to medicine. Using invertebrates instead of mammals. Instead of testing drugs in mice, what researchers can do is test that drug in insect first when appropriate. Using eggs instead of live birds. Researchers can test vaccines in chicken eggs instead of live chicken as appropriate. Now let's talk about a scenario where replacement can be applied. Imagine a team wants to study how a chemical affects the liver. Before touching any animals, they first use a computer model, liver cells grown in the lab, and a liver organ model. Only if these alternatives don't answer the question, they move to animal studies. That's the replacement in action. Now let's talk about reduction. As the name says, reduction means if we must use animals, let's use the smallest number possible, but still enough to get reliable, meaningful results. The most important thing here is using the bare minimum number of animals that is possible and still gives good results. If the results are compromised, then you may need to repeat the study, and that is not actually a good practice. For example, you use 60 animals to get a certain result. The same result can be achieved by using 30 animals. But if you use 20 animals, then the result cannot be published and animals are wasted. In this case, using 30 animals instead of 60 is a good example of reduction, but using 20 animals instead of 60 is a poor example of reduction. Some of the examples of reduction are using better experimental design. Wherever possible, you can use a statistician to plan the study to reduce unnecessary animals. Sharing tissues. If one study uses rats for blood samples, another lab can use the leftover tissues instead of using new rats. Doing longitudinal studies. This means you can measure the same animal multiple times instead of using new groups each time. Using imaging techniques. Here you can do CT scans or MRI scans that allow repeated measurements inside the same animal. Using pilot studies. This means you can do a tiny small scale test before a full experiment. Now let's talk about a scenario where reduction can be applied. A researcher wants to test a new diet on mice. Instead of guessing how many mice they need, they meet with a biostatistician. The statistician calculates that 12 mice will give strong data. If the researcher had guessed, they might have used 30 or 40 mice unnecessarily. So this is a good example of reduction. Now let's talk about refinement. Refinement simply is giving better experience to animals. That means refine and improve their welfare, reduce pain, and make their environment comfortable. Some of the examples of refinement are providing pain relief after you do surgery of animals or any other invasive procedure, training animals to voluntarily participate in the study, using environmental enrichment such as toys for chicken, nest box for chicken, perches for chicken, hiding space for chicken, etc. Using human inputs. That means stopping an experiment early if your animals show signs of pain and distress. Using better techniques. For example, using a small needle to take blood instead of big one, doing injections under anesthesia, using imaging instead of surgery. Providing social housing to animals, that means keeping them together instead of isolating them where possible. Now let's talk about a scenario where refinement can be applied. Let's say you are doing a study that requires blood sample from dogs. Instead of forcing the dog to stay still, you train the dog to happily place its paw on the table for a treat. You use a small needle. You give a treat after each sample, and you keep the dog with its usual companions. In this example, the dog will experience less fear, less pain, and less stress. That is an example of good refinement. While doing any research using animals, a good researcher always asks 3 questions in following order. Can I replace animal? If yes, no animals are used. If no, can I reduce the number of animals? And if animals are used, how can I refine the experience of animals? This is how research using animals become more ethical, more humane, and even more accurate. 3 R's are not just the rules, they are the mindset. They help us respect the animals we work with and make us responsible researchers. If you are planning to do animal research, mastering 3 R's is your first step to become a responsible scientist. Thank you for watching our video. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel so that you never miss our contents. See you again in the next video. Until then, watch WInspire and keep inspiring.